Hey, good morning, my friends. Welcome again to another episode of the J Talk Morning Show. Fantastic to have you with me. Starting this week off right with a little J in the morning on a Monday morning. It is time to get this party started. Hope everybody's got their Java with J this morning. Here we go. Got my minute to cross cup this morning, and hope you're doing well. So let's go ahead and uncue the music. Thank you very much, Mr. Producer. And anyways, great to have you on board with me this morning. I enjoy doing these in the mornings. I really do. I have a great time doing it, and just hopefully I'm able to add value, share something with you that's going to make a difference in your day, whether it's in your personal life or in your leadership, because they both, in my opinion, actually are one and the same. One and the same, our personal lives and leadership, how we lead others, how we lead ourselves. Helps everybody have a better life, right? Am I right? Absolutely, I'm right. Okay, at least I'm agreeing with myself. Okay, in fact, I'm going to give myself a like someplace here. But anyway, good morning to you. I'm glad to be with you. I'm glad you decided to spend some time with me on the J Talk Morning Show. And don't forget to subscribe over my YouTube channel and like and share it. Leave comments too. If you've got something you'd like to add to the conversation, please do. I read everything. I will respond to most everything. And if it's not relevant and it's negative and it starts going off on a tangent, especially if it's in the political realm right now and anything that's divisive, I'm probably going to eliminate that. Just go ahead and give you a heads up. So if that's your motive to do something like that, then it's probably not going to be in your best interest, because I'm just going to make it disappear. Okay. But definitely do leave comments relative to the conversations. It'd be fantastic to hear your point of view, your perspectives, because we all have different perspectives, right? I'm sharing my perspectives, my views, my philosophies on life and leadership with you, based on my personal experiences, as well as my education and my environment. But that's mine. And I want to hear from you, your perspectives, your philosophies, your practices, the things that you've experienced in your personal life and in leadership as it relates to the topic at hand. Now, today we're going to continue part 2 of what we started a few days ago. Part 2, constructive criticism, seeking it out and becoming your best self. Okay. And we all will be criticized. First of all, we have to have that awareness. As a matter of fact, if we're running from criticism, we're running from becoming the best versions of ourselves. There's constructive and destructive criticism, and we want more of the constructive criticism. If you are a leader or a business owner, or you are an entrepreneur or an entertainer, you want criticism. You want constructive criticism. You want to have a contrarian in your midst. What is a contrarian? A contrarian can be either a constructive or destructive critic. Somebody that's always got something to complain about, and it's just to hear themselves complain. I know some people like that. If all they are doing is just complaining, and they're never happy. They find every single cloud in every rainbow. Okay. They see that. These are destructive critics. Destructive, what I say the word just a minute ago. Anyway, they aren't going to contribute to the conversation nor anything else. So these are the people you really kind of like, okay, I hear you talking, but that's as far as it's going to go. You want the people that will give you constructive criticism, that have something to say that maybe you didn't see, a perspective you didn't see. I said, "Oh, I didn't think about that." It's not that they're shooting your ideas down, it's that they have a different perspective. Me and Katrina do this all the time, and sometimes we have disagreements on it, but the truth is we have that freedom to communicate with that way because we have an incredible level of trust and faith in each other, and knowing that such criticism is not to harm the other one, but to help the other one. And you want that kind of relationship in your life, whether it's in your personal relationship or in your professional endeavors. You want that constructive criticism. Where can you be better at that you're not seeing? And we talked a little bit about blind spots last week. So let me just do a quick recap. Some of the benefits of receiving constructive criticism in when you're competing. Now we've been talking about competitions, right? But really, this applies to life in itself. So some of the things I talked about last week, some of the benefits are personal growth and improvement, objective feedback, refining techniques and skills, building resilience, uh, gaining a competitive edge, identifying blind spots, and networking and mentoring opportunities. Okay, these are the ones I covered in the last episode. So go back, check out the last episode. You can find it on the YouTube channel, the J Talk Morning Show. Subscribe. You can also find it on the Facebook page by the same name, the J Talk Morning Show. Okay, because all these videos go over there, both places. Today we have 7 more, my friends. I love the number 7. It's a great number. It's a lucky number. Okay. And today it's your lucky day. So today, another group of 7s. But today, some additional points that we're going to talk about that are benefits to receiving such criticism. Okay. Uh, when you're in any level of competition, and whether that's a professional competition or a personal competition, whatever you're doing, right? You're always competing against somebody. Sometimes, many times, it's yourself to become a better version of who you are and what you do. So today we got some more tips uh, and some benefits of constructive criticism. And definitely leave a comment if you see anything in this that you agree with or your thoughts on any of these points. Please do add your perspectives. And before we get started, good morning to John Fleck. Mr. Fleck, good morning to you. Let's post that up there. Contrarians are like, he says, contrarians are like one friend who insist on going north because the rest of the world is going south. They end up at the same party as everyone else, just a lot more tired from the longer walk. That is good. Hey, John, I don't know. Is that your quote or is that a quote by someone else? Because that is a really good quote and very good perspective as well on what a contrarian is. And but like I said, there are contrarians that can be constructive and destructive, and so you do want one of these people in your midst. I think sometimes we think of a person as contrary as a negative, whereas if they have the right perspective and the motives, it can be actually a benefit to any organization. So awesome. So that quote is by John Fleck right there. He's owning it. All right. Hey, you may want to write that down someplace. If I put it in a book, I'll give you credit for it, right? But not the royalties. Isn't that how our dear friend John Maxwell says all the time? All right. So let me get something up here. There we go. I give you that little. It's not actually your video. It's me just doing that. Katrina hates. Well, she hates it when I do that. Okay. So constructively seek out and become your best self. Increasing self-awareness. That's the next thing. It's increasing self-awareness. Constructive criticism helps us to develop our self-awareness by providing an external perspective on our performances. It allows us to see ourselves more objectively and understand how others perceive our talents and our abilities. This self-awareness can guide our future development and decision making. Okay. So increasing self-awareness. Sometimes we don't, I mentioned last week, we don't see the whole picture because we're in the picture. It takes someone on the outside to share with you what the bigger picture looks like. Sometimes we're just stuck. We're tunnel vision. We have tunnel vision. Okay. We see one thing. We have our blinders on. and somebody else coming in can help us to remove those blinders, help us to expand our vision, our view, and realize that, there are some things about me that I didn't know that I need to change, but I had to get outside of myself and trust the viewpoint of somebody who has my best interest at heart. It's always like the question, what does it look like on the other side of me? Well, you got to get to the other people on the other side of you and ask them, what does it look like on the other side of me? All right. So increasing self-awareness. Number nine, developing a growth mindset. A growth mindset. We talk about it all the time. Leaders are growers. Leaders are learners. Leaders learn from their mistakes. They learn from their disappointments. They learn from the failures. The leaders learn from these things. Leaders are always learning new things to do. The leaders are always exploring and reading and going to conferences and going to seminars and jumping on webinars and all these things. They're getting a coach. They have coaches. Leaders have coaches. Real leaders have coaches and mentors. Okay. So if you're a leader and you don't have either one of those, you need to go out there and get you some of those. Okay. You need that now, because if you want to expand and grow as a leader, if you want to become a leader of excellence, not just a leader of average and mediocrity, you want a coach, you want a mentor. You need a coach and you need a mentor. Do that. But developing a growth mindset. Constructive criticism encourages a growth mindset, which is the belief that abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. Instead of viewing criticism as a negative judgment, you can embrace, or we can embrace it as an opportunity for growth and improvement. This mindset fosters resiliency. We talked about that last week, motivation, and a willingness to take on challenges. Okay. So take the constructive criticism and grow from it. Well, how can I grow? Number 10, enhancing our performance evaluations, right? Whether it's in entertainment or it's on the job or it's even sharing a great conversation of how you can grow based upon a personal relationship. Maybe your spouse, the most trusted person in your life is your spouse. Um, this can help to enhance your performance, your productivity, how you show up. Constructive criticism enables us to evaluate our performance more accurately by considering feedback from others, such as judges, coaches, and mentors. We can assess our strengths and weaknesses more objectively. Okay. Now I want to bring this back by considering feedback. It doesn't mean that you approve of nor accept, but you are considering what is being shared with you. You still are responsible for accepting or approval. And here's the thing: feedback is essentially like an opinion of other people based on their perspectives, and that's based on their experiences. You, on the other hand, have to determine for yourself: am I going to adopt their perspective, their judgment, to make adjustments in my life, or am I good with where I'm at and maybe I don't see it their way? And that's going to happen. People are going to, even the best of critics can have the best of intentions and give you great advice. But it's not always the advice that you need to apply to your life. It's something to consider. Okay. Um, So this will also help us to make informed decisions about our training, our practices, the areas of focus for any future endeavors that we may pursue. So that was number 10. Number 11, and if you got comments or posts, anything, make sure to put it up there, and on any one of these points. So number 11, learning from peers, constructive criticism from our peers. I always say that there are 7 levels of leadership before we get to the executive level of leadership, which I consider the management aspects that John Maxwell speaks in, the 5 levels of leadership. There's 2 more that I like to put in on the front of that, and that's personal and peer. Well, peer leadership. Leaders are learners. Learn from your peers. Okay. What do they have to offer? You may receive constructive criticism not only from mentors, coaches, and judges, but also from fellow employees, team members, peers, competitors. This feedback provides an opportunity to learn from our peers and gain insights from different perspectives. Engaging in constructive discussions with others can broaden our understanding and inspire new approaches to our talent, our skill, our abilities, what we're trying to pursue and achieve. So, trust your peers that are also on the journey with you because they're also going to see certain things, little nuances, some things that you might be able to change up in your performances or your productivity. Okay. Who is a trusted peer that you know of in your life right now that you could go to and ask them for some constructive criticism on how you can be better at your productivity, at your performance, at your pursuits, what you're trying to achieve? Ask them for their perspective. You'll be glad you did. I can promise you that. And plus, you're building up trust and relationship. Anytime you ask somebody for their opinion, that makes them feel like they matter to you. So that's always a great way to make connections also when developing relationships. Ask them for their perspectives and trust and or respect that perspective as well. You may not agree, and that's okay. It may not even be in alignment. That's the one thing. You got to look at agreements and alignments. Sometimes we can be in alignment for something, but not in agreement on the way we get there. And sometimes we can be in agreement, but not in alignment. And so we have to figure all that out. So, but be open to that and ask people for that because you can build up those relationships in a great way. Number 12, another benefit of constructive criticism is cultivating humility. Cultivating humility. Constructive criticism fosters humility by reminding us that there is always room for improvement. It keeps us grounded and encourages us to continue learning and growing. Even if we've achieved success in previous endeavors and pursuits, cultivating humility allows us to stay open minded, receptive to feedback, and committed to our personal and artistic development. Okay. The line that gets me out of there is reminding us that there's always room for improvement. When I was in the military, and for those of you that may not know, I was in all three components of the Army. I was in the regular Army, I was in the Army National Guard, and I was in the Army Reserve. So I spent a total of 26 years between these three components. And we would always get what we called the NCO evaluation reports, NCOERs. Okay, if you're a non-commissioned officer, which means you're a sergeant at some level, or a junior NCO, which means you are a corporal or a specialist, then you got these evaluation reports, and on there was categories that led from 1 to 5 in excellence and needs improvement. Um, Many times, it was always kind of an unspoken rule, if you will. You don't want to give anybody a 5 on everything. Now, you had to have bullet statements to explain your reasoning why you scaled somebody on that scale, but the purpose was if you gave everybody a 5, and you had to know your people too, but if you gave them a 5, that meant that they have reached the height of their abilities, that they can't improve anymore. So it was good to get a 4. Matter of fact, I've had people that had NCO evaluation reports tell their supervisors, their leaders, "Hey, I don't want excellent. Okay, you gave me an excellent. Can we redo this evaluation report before we send it up to the reviewer?" And you had to sign off on that too. But that was the thing. We want to always to give them an opportunity to realize, hey, you're fantastic. What you're doing is great. As a matter of fact, bullet. You've got awards, certificates. We're throwing you in for promotion. Okay. But here's where you can make some improvements. And you look for those improvements. Don't look for evaluation reports to be perfect. If you're looking for perfect, okay, then you are failing you and your peers and your leadership and your organization and your family if you think you're perfect. Okay. None of us are as good as we think we are, and none of us are as bad as we think we are. But we need that outside perspective. So it offers a great way to cultivate humility is one of the benefits because we can see, okay, I need to improve here. This is where I need to improve. Now, leaders, if you are doing the evaluation, and actually, I may do a talk on the evaluation reports because I think it's something you can really apply where you're at right now in your civilian work, or if you're military watching me now, you'll totally understand and get it, and you can follow along easily. But if you are a leader, make sure you develop that rapport. Make sure you develop that relationship and that trust that where you share how they can improve. Make sure you have ways for them to improve. Sometimes we say, "Oh, you could do better." How can I do better? Well, you can just do better. Go figure it out. No, that's not a leader. Okay. Matter of fact, you're shirking your duties. As a leader, when you are and whether you're in a leadership position or not, if you're offering constructive criticism, okay, instead of saying, I don't think I would have done that, say, what if you tried it this way and give them another perspective? Don't say you should do it this way. Never do that. Never say you should, you ought to, why don't you? Instead, say, have you thought about doing it this way? What would you think about this? Or how would this make you feel? And a lot of times we do things based on feelings. So cultivating that humility is another benefit. Okay, moving on to number 13. We got two more to go, folks. So hang in there with me. Okay, hang in there with me. Two more. Developing effective communication skills. Receiving constructive criticism requires active listening and effective communication skills. It teaches you how to receive feedback with grace and professionalism, asking clarifying questions, and engage in productive discussions. These communication skills are transferable to various areas of life and can contribute to your overall personal and professional growth. It teaches you how to communicate in such a way that you can listen, you can receive, you can assess, you can formulate, you can figure out what your next question is going to be. And remember, if you're growing, you want to ask more questions and give statements. If you're a leader, you ask more questions and give statements. Okay. Let that be something that I hope everybody will learn from today's talk is is ask questions, ask great questions, ask more questions than you're giving statements. Okay. An 80-20 rule applies here. Ask 80% more questions, 20% more speaking. And that 20% is a question on top of questions. Okay. So always ask questions. How can I be better? If you're offering the criticism, ask questions of the people that you're going to be judging or evaluating or critiquing. You know, ask them questions and make it so that because here's what I know: when people dig deep and they answer that question, and they answer the question on top of that question, and on top of that one, this is part of the gift of coaching and the one of the trades of coaching. Then they get down to the root, and the root is where we discover more about ourselves and our abilities and our potential, and we can own that. We own that. We grasp it, and this is ours. You may have all the answers, my friends, but ask questions, let them come up with the answers. And finally, one of the benefits is building. Oh, it jumped on me. Why does it want to do that? Get back down here. There we go. Building a supportive community. When you embrace criticism from like-minded individuals that have your best interests at heart, okay, that want you to succeed, you're building a supportive community. Constructive criticism creates opportunities to connect with others who share your passion for whatever pursuit you're pursuing: competitions, performance, productions, relationships. Engaging in constructive feedback and discussions can foster a supportive community where participants inspire and encourage each other. This community can provide ongoing support, motivation, and collaboration beyond the pursuits itself. Build that community, build a tribe. So that's what the benefits are of constructive criticism, don't shy away from it. Don't run from it. There are 14 benefits that I came up with that is going to help you succeed. You might be good today, but that doesn't mean you're going to be good tomorrow. Matter of fact, what you were good at today, you could find out there's some chinks in your process. Find somebody that knows what you're doing, what you're trying to pursue, and ask them for some constructive criticism. Ask them. They can't wait to tell you. They're just waiting for an opportunity to tell you. Okay. And when you do that, like I said, it shows them that you trust them. And that matters a lot. Relationships are built on trust. And when you can ask somebody for their honest uh, opinion, their perspective, then you're going to build that relationship with them as well. Okay, my friends. Hope I was able to add value today. Remember that constructive criticism is meant to help you grow and to improve and become your very best self in whatever you're trying to pursue in life and in leadership. Approaching this with an open mind, embrace feedback as a valuable learning opportunity, and use it to fuel your determination for drive for success. All right, my friends. Okay, so that's what we got for you today. I hope I was able to inspire you, encourage you, and help you grow today. Become your very best self, because the world needs you to be your best self today. Whatever it is you're doing, you can do it better. I can promise you that. Whatever you're doing today, you can do it better. And when you do it better, that's your influence that's going to be compounding when others see the results, when they see that you're producing what you say you're going to produce in your life. And people are watching you. People are picking up breadcrumbs from you too. And when they see how well you handle constructive criticism, and you take the criticism and you actually do something with that, man, you're building up your influence and your moxie. You're building up your relationship with people and trust factor. So people get to know you that way too. So if that's what your pursuit is, to become a better version of yourself, seek out some great and wonderful constructive criticism. All right. If I can ever be of service to you as well, make sure to come back here. Send me an email. My contact information is scrolling on the bottom right now. There you go. And until we meet again, my friends, my name is Jay Goff, and I am your host for the Jay Talk Morning Show. Make sure to go and like and subscribe to the YouTube channel and share it if any of this has been of value to you. And share with me your thoughts, too, in the comments, and what you would like for me to share with you on future podcasts. And we've got our first, I want to throw this out, our first guest will be this coming Friday. I'm excited about this person. She's an amazing lady, a great leader, a wonderful influencer. People just love her. She's just amazing. And I was going to say it's a surprise, but it's not, because I already posted it before. So I want to share with you, my wife, the missus to my mister, is going to be here live, and she's going to share with you some things as well. And she's putting her stuff together. So we're going to be coming to you live on Friday with our very first guest. And then after her, I've been waiting to get her on board. After she comes on board, Katrina Goff, we will be having more guests on a regular basis, maybe once a week, and we'll see who I'll get on. But there got to be people that are going to be able to add value to the audience that affects your life and affects your leadership. It's all about life and leadership. That's what this is all about, helping you increase your influence and your legacy in life and in leadership. And so I'm excited about the people that I know is going to be coming on board already, and it's going to be great. So we'll see you next time on the J Talk Morning Show. Thank you very much for being a part of this each and every day. And don't forget, you got to get up, get out, and get at it, because the world needs what you have to offer, my friend. God bless you. Bye-bye.